Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another weekend market watch. I hope your weekend is going phenomenally. Today is Saturday, October 5th. So happy spooky month for those of you who are big Halloween fans. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge Halloween fan myself. I like it, don't get me wrong, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. But yeah, my weekend's going okay. I went to a locals yesterday, but unfortunately nobody else showed up, so it happens. So I didn't pick up anything cool, but I did get something in the mail, and that is, let's see if I can show this to you guys. It is a full Plunder Patrol core, or at least most of a Plunder Patrol core. It's all the ships, it is all the main deck cards. The only thing that I didn't get was, I think I forgot a second copy of Golden Hair, and I need to pick up at least one more copy of Blackbeard. I already had a couple copies. I think I had 2 copies, but I think I need to pick up the third. If you guys are interested in seeing a Plunder Patrol deck profile on the channel, please let me know in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and let's get straight on into it. So starting as always with the best selling of the week. So Fiendsmith Engraver, surprisingly, down to $85. I am genuinely surprised by this. I did not think at all that this card would ever drop below 90. The fact that it's $85 right now is quite surprising to me. I would recommend that you pick yours up now if you don't have it and you think you want to compete at a high level. If you have these, hold on to them, right? We are getting new Fiendsmith support in literally a week. It is going to shoot the deck up in power, and you are going to need Fiendsmiths for that, obviously. So if you have them, hold them. If you want them, get them. Well, Charming Purlia is back up to 55. I do think this is going to go down. Purlia is that you're forced to main deck it right now if you want to play it main decked. Like, you don't have a choice. But when Furos comes out, this goes into the side, Furos goes into the main, and I think most people are going to look to offload their Purlias to purchase Furos. So I think this goes down to around $40, maybe $35. So I would consider selling them right now. It's a pretty good price. So LZ's 25. This is, I believe, where it was at last week. If you want to play White Forest, pick them up. I don't think this card ever drops below 25 until a reprint. So go ahead, pick them up now. Phantom of Yubel still holding 40. Mimical Dungeons holding 10. I think it was 12 last week. Let's actually go ahead and pull that up real quick. Yeah, it was 15 last week. So it's 10, it was 15, it's dropping down. People are realizing that Mimigul is not the super tier meta threat that we originally thought, but it's still a competent, powerful archetype. Nightmare Apprentice is up to 35 again, not seeing a reprint in either the tins or confirmed reprint and anything else is really hurting the value of this card, or really upping the value of this card, I should say. So I look to offload yours. I don't think this card, the only reason this card would go above its current price point is A, we get insane illusion support that needs the consistency, and B, by the time we get that, this card hasn't gotten at least one reprint. So it's two things that have to go right, and I'm not sure if Konami's willing to do that. Dominus Purge still holding 14. Again, super surprised that this card is only $14 for a Secret Rare. I am still considering picking it up myself, just because I think it has some interesting applications in trap decks like Trap Tricks. I forget, what's the lock on this? This is, I know it's Water and Fire, Dark Water and Fire, yeah, so you can't play this in Labyrinth, unfortunately. Well, you can, you just have to set it first. But in decks like Trap Tricks that don't apply the lock, it is just Ash number 2. But again, you can't play this with Ash. That's kind of why it's in that weird gray area of do we play it, do we not? OG SPs are holding 60. I think a lot of people are happy about that because it's really hard to pull an SP from the tins with all the clumping and all the overprinting for everything else. So OG Wanted's holding 25, not surprised by that. Grass Looks Greener holding 30. Silhouette Rabbit is down below 20. I think people, I'm not gonna say they realized they were coping on the Silhouette Rabbit. I think it is still a good card, but I think it's not as powerful as something like IP into SP. It's a good end board piece if you have the space for it, but not a lot of decks do is the problem. Promethean Princess is still holding $20. Yeah, it was up to $25.30 last week and is dropped back down to 20. It's still an amazing card. It's still a very, very powerful card for fire decks. It's not going to get banned right now, so you have time to play with it. So don't worry about that. Pydras are 12. A little surprised by this. I figured Tenpai would die down a lot more after the field spell limit, but I think we're just supplementing it with other things in the Tenpai player's arsenal. So it's still a powerful deck if you do get the combo off and you can clear your opponent's boards with things like Raigeki and prevent them from playing with Dimension Shifters. You can still easily win, but yeah, it's not too easy. Raging Phoenix is 33. Not surprised at all. You do play this in every build of Snake Eyes, including the I think Azamina build. So it's shot up from 20 in August to all the way up to 35 currently. So if you have them, again, maybe consider offloading them. If you're not going to play a fire deck like Snake Eyes or Fire Kings or something like that, consider it. Nightmare Throne down to 15. This is baffling to me. Was 30 is down to 15. It's genuinely crazy to me. Like I don't know if people are offloading it because they think that Yubel's going to get like massacred on the next list, or if they just people are tired of playing Yubel. I don't know, but this card, like, let's pull up the full life cycle of this card. Yeah, when this card came out, it was $40. You wanted to pull this. This was the best card you could pull. It was better than all the other secret rares. And now it's down to $15. You can pick up a playset of this for like essentially a playset of Pydra. So I would say, honestly, if you want to play Yubel, now's a great time to pick up the cards. Estelar down to 15. I'm actually quite surprised by that. For those of you who don't know, I think I might be able to find it here. I do actually have a playset of pretty much all the White Forest cards except for exactly Estelar. I managed to pull one and a Starlight, and then I traded for the second one. Yep, here it is. So I do have a playset of Ilzets, including a Starlight rare. So I was like, well, I have it if I want to play Runic White Forest, but maybe I should pick up a Estelars and play Pure White Forest. Don't think I'm going to do that, but especially considering how much I spent on other things this week, so we're not gonna talk about that. Centurion Axula is 12. Makes sense because the new Centurion support is coming out. I don't think this got reprinted in the tins, so that would make sense as to why. Yeah, that would make sense as to why it shot up from 5 to 15. So if you want to play Centurion, pick it up. Evil Seeds 15, this is going up because Rika did really well at YCS Lil. Second place, congratulations to them. Jerusalem is 15. I'm surprised this is going up, I think. Yeah, it's going up, it's climbing. It was 10, then it shot up to 15. Last week it was 14, going up a little bit more to 16, 18. I don't know how I feel about that. Bonfires are 25, Tracks are 8, and Typhon OG is 20, 18, 20. These are all fine. So let's rip off the band-aid. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Rage of the Abyss drops next week. There's a lot of powerful cards in this set. Pre-sales are going insane for one card specifically. Molcharmi Fualos is the new name. I know everyone keeps saying Fuaros, but it's Fualos now. This card was originally pre-saling at around 200, 180, something like that. I did pre-order 2 copies. 2 copies at 150, which is, I know it's crazy. I've been saving up for a while since I've known about this card. I've been budgeting to pick it up because I want them in case I do need to. I do want to play. I was expecting this card to be 120 on pre-sale and then go up slowly. It started at 140 and went up slowly. So am I saying that this card is going to be worth 150 plus after the pre-sale? I don't know. That's a little bit too presumptuous. I think that there is the possibility that because it is a card that goes in literally every single deck, there's not a single deck that doesn't want a Fualos going second. There is the possibility that this could be the next Dark Arm Dragon. This could be the next Maximum Crisis Ash, where it's just that expensive. That being said, again, you only really need it if you want to play at a high level and you want to be competitive. If you're worried about picking these up and you're just a casual player, you like playing things like Plunder Patrol or like ice barriers like I'm enjoying, you don't need these. So don't fret over it. It will get reprinted eventually. I'm guessing eventually is probably next year's tins, unfortunately. So we do have to wait quite a while, but that's my take on Fulos. Um, let's talk about Dominus Impulse, crazy card, basically just Gamma #2. If your opponent controls a card, you can activate this card from your hand. When a card or effect is activated and that includes the effect to special summon a monster, negate the effect, then if you have a trap card in your graveyard, destroy that card. Crazy line of text. Literally Solemn Strike on a trap card you can use from your hand. If you activate this card from your hand, you cannot activate light, earth, or wind monsters for the rest of this duel. That's actually a pretty good combination of cards. The only deck in the meta right now that I can think can't use this is Ritual Beasts. Yubel can make great use of this. Fire Kings can make great use of this. There's not a lot of decks that can't utilize this. Interestingly enough, the only one that can't, that I would want to play it in, is Traptrix because of this Earth Lock right here. But yeah, this card is crazy. It's pre-sailing at 55. As a secret rare, I would expect it to hold that price tag at the very minimum. Not expecting it to go up or down, just I would expect it to at least hold that price tag. Ulcanix is 30. This is great for the Fire King Snake Eyes build. You're going to want to pick these up. It's pre-selling at 30. I could see it going down a little bit because Fire King Snake Eyes probably won't be better than Azamina Snake Eyes, but it'll be competitive for sure. Other than that, I actually have no interest in going over anything else in the pre-sales. Those are the only 3 cards that I think are worth talking about. I think Lacrima could fluctuate very, very actively. All the Atlantean stuff, I'm not sure how I feel about, so let's just move on. I want to look at hand traps today. Going into a new format that is just wildly different, I think we need to look at the hand traps that, have access to. And if you are a budget player, which I fully support budget players, I wanted to give you a look at cards you can pick up and not spend that much money on. The first one is DD Crow. DD Crow actually goes really hard into the next format. There's a lot of graveyard stuff that isn't light or dark, so you can't Bystial it. And I think DD Crow sees main deck play in decks over Bystials now. You can pick up 25th anniversary 2 collection 2s for only about 25 to 50 cents a copy. There's other copies. So honestly, if you want my genuine honest opinion, just whenever there's the option, I always pick up the speed duel cards just because I like speed duels. They're also really nice commons. They really are. They're really nice commons. If you guys haven't seen a speed duel common in person before, just go and look through your bulk or ask your shop if they have any, and they are really nice. They're extra glossy, super cool. Ash Blossom. Again, a very powerful card, a card that at this point you probably should have. It's going to be reprinted in the Blue Eyes structure deck as well, so that's really nice. You're going to be able to pick up copies for even less, but looking at it, your cheapest copy is the Rarity Collection 1, Ultra Rare and Super Rare and Common. They're about $5. You're gonna have to pay about $15 for Ashes, but here's the thing. It is a card that does consider in every deck. There's not many decks that don't want to play Ash Blossom. Even decks like Labyrinth, they're trap decks that are just oh, let's just set 5 and hope it's good enough. They consider playing Ash sometimes. It's not a bad card to play. So that's a card that you can pick up for about $5. Infinite Impermanence, basically just better Effect Veiler. We're going to cover Effect Veiler next, but looking at this, the cheapest you're going to pick these up for is about 6 or 7 from Rarity Collection. I think these may also be being reprinted in the Blue Eyes structure deck. So if you're willing to wait until I think it's February of next year to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! To really pick up hand traps and stuff, and the Blue Eyes structure deck will cover you for a lot of this. Effect Veiler. You can pick up copies of this card for $1. That is not a dollar. Yep. So you can pick up best selling. I want high low. Thank you. You can pick up copies for $1, $2. Commons, rares, ultra rares. You're not you can even get some pretty nice rarities like the ultras and the supers. The secrets I have heard from Rarity 1 are gorgeous. I have heard. I wish I could pick some up. I've either just never seen someone who has them and wants to trade them, or I've just never thought to pick them up whenever I'm browsing TCG Player. Curry Card of Incarnate. I'm not sure how well this card does in the next format, but I did want to cover it. You can pick up secrets for $5 to $6, ultis for only about $13. This is a really powerful board breaker card. It really is. If you guys don't remember this card, must be special summoned by triggering all face-up monsters on the field that have activated their effects this turn. Gains 1500 for each monster attributed to special summon this card. During end phase, target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your field. Really powerful. I think one time I used this against a Labyrinth player. I Curry card their Chaos Angel, brought it back, and then used the Chaos Angel to banish something because it was summoned. I think that's how it worked. I might be remembering wrong, but it's a really crazy card, and if you have the money to spend on it, it does fill a role in decks. So definitely a card to consider. Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion. This card is 25 cents. Honestly, there's a lot of nice rarities. You can pick up Secret Rares from Rarity 2. Again, I love the Secret Rares from Rarity. The Rarity Collection, they are really nice Secret Rares. But if you don't want to spend a lot of money, you can pick up Bells for 25 to 50 cents. You can pick up Supers, Ultras, and even Commons, so not at all an expensive card. Droll Knockbird, a card that I think maybe debatably sees main deck play in this format, going into Rage of the Abyss format. You can pick up copies of this card for about 60 to 70. I remember when I got super lucky and picked up a play set of Commons for, I think it was $10 on eBay plus shipping. This was years ago at this point when Droll didn't have that many printings. I don't even think it had the Tactical Masters hadn't come out for, it wouldn't come out for like another couple of years, like another year or two. So yeah, this is a great card to pick up. Next we got Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre is a card that doesn't see as much play, but Konami has shifted from doing field spells that activate their effects on activation to add, like the Visas Planets, to cards like the Tenpai Field Spell where you activate them, then you have to activate the effect so you can Ghost Ogre the field spell. It's actually pretty nice. It lets you interact with the deck in a different way, and Ghost Ogre is not an expensive card, only 50 cents for like the Commons or the Alt-Art Supers. You can even pick up some Secret Rares for $1. Where's the normal Secret Rare? Don't see it, that's fine. Yeah, so you can pick this up for a pretty cheap price. Nibiru, $2.50 to $3 for your lowest rarity prints. You can pick up higher rarity prints like the Secret Rare. I'm surprised the Secret Rare from Rarity Collection 1 is this low. So maybe a good pickup, Secret Rare Nibirus. Bystials. Like I said, Bystials don't fill that much of a niche. Let me rephrase. Bystials fill a niche. They're very good cards. But there's a lot of stuff in the next format that's not going to be light or dark, that you are going to want to crow out. Even things like spells that you aren't going to want your opponent to have in the graveyard. Bystials are going to go down in price, I think. Right now we've got Magnamuts for $2, Sornir for $5, and Druis for $16 to $18. I think these could drop a decent amount, so if you're looking to pick up Bystials, wait. Just please wait. I want to talk about Mistaken Arrest. This is a card that a lot of people who are speculating on this format are saying this could be a very good card. Until the end of your next turn after this card resolves, it's a quick play spell, so you can use it on both players' turns if you set it. Neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand except by drawing them. I love using this in Runic piles, because once you've got the field spell established, you can still field spell, shuffle back, and draw. And I love absolutely using this against Horus piles. They're not too big in the meta right now, but if you run up against a Horus pile and they go Imseti, Pitch Itself, and a card, you chain Mistaken Arrest, they can't add the Gold Sark, and they have to add the Gold Sark to draw, so they just -2 themselves, even if they have the Gold Sark in hand, or the King Sark, I should say, King Sark in hand. If they have the King Sark in hand, they don't have extra cards to pitch with it, so it's a really good counter card for Horus piles. If your locals is just full of Horus piles, Mistaken Arrests are only about 30 cents to 50 cents a copy. So really good card. Last card I wanted to cover before we get into just something interesting is Mistake. This is a card more for alt formats like Hat format. You can also play this in Fire Water format, so if you guys want to pick up that format, it's a really cool format. I recommend it highly. But this card is just Droll on a Continuous Trap. It's just Droll as a Floodgate. That's really strong for certain decks that don't need to search. You know, they use the graveyard as their form of interaction. They use their monsters to cheat cards out of the deck. Like, I think Samsara D Lotus tributes for cost, especially Yubel, that doesn't add to hand. So you can do that under mistake. It's a very interesting card. It's a very powerful card. It's a very cheap card. You can see there's tons of copies for only about 20 cents. So this is a card that I think you should have in your staple binder, just in case it becomes meta. And the last thing I want to cover was the Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix engine. Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer has shot up in price. It went from about 5 or 6 to 7s, and this is the OG secret rare. Even the prismatic secret rare is about the same price, 7. So we have Destiny Hero Dashers here. They went down significantly from when DP came out. You can pick up a nice speed dual secret rare for 50 cents. Celestials are the same way. You can pick up one for only about 25 cents. And Fusion Destinies are $1 to 50 cents, depending on what rarity you get. Obviously, the ultimate rare is more expensive, but this is a great engine. I remember when I almost topped a YCS because of this card. So I'm surprised it's as low as it is, and it only needs like 1, maybe 2 tiny little support cards. And I'm not talking like Verte coming back. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that nobody wants Verte to come back, even though it's kind of like, well, making 2 monsters into a Light Fiend gets you full Fiendsmith combo, 2 monsters into a Verte gets you a DP or a Dragoon, which is really more terrifying and less healthy for the game. But anyways, DP is a card that it just like one deck that sort of breaks it. Just one deck that can either search the fusion spell for the end of your turn, or can like cheat it out of the extra deck. I know obviously you can play this in Heroes, and it's very good in Heroes. But this is a card that is shooting up in price. It is tracking up. So if you don't have yours, I would recommend picking it up. I think there's no harm in having a nice engine like this. And you can still do what we used to do and just throw this in engines. If you guys don't know what this card used to do, this is basically target a card you control and a card on the field, destroy both. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, special summon a Destiny Hero monster from your graveyard during the standby phase of the next turn, which this is. The Garnets you use, Dasher. If you draw a monster for your draw phase, you can reveal it and special summon it. Celestial. If you have no cards in your hands, you can banish this card and a Destiny Hero monster in your graveyard, draw 2 cards. And then Fusion Destiny is just Shaddoll Fusion. Just Shaddoll Fusion. You can just fusion summon from your extra deck using Destiny Hero monsters from your hand or deck as fusion material, but destroy it during the end phase of the next turn. You can't special except for Dark Hero monsters the turn you activate this card. That's not a big deal when you summon DPE, because if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon it back. So it's really not a big deal for you to Fusion Destiny into DPE. So that is going to be it for today, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you really enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and all that stuff, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.